Shino gets a bad rap just because his jutsu is kind of disgusting and he's a little bit creepy, but if you look deep into it, he's actually a pretty interesting character. He's a shy and more reserved character, but that is not done in a tropey or generic way where he's like, oh, I am edgy, I am, like kind of like Sasuke sometimes, even though I really like Sasuke. I do agree sometimes he's too edgy, but Shino is not like that in classic Naruto. He's reserved, but he is cool and he can talk normally to people. Also, he's a very mysterious character in classic Naruto. When people sense his chakra or smell his scent, they say like, well, this guy is not human, he's something else. And yeah, that has a connection with his insects that people don't really like all that much because, well, yeah, it's kind of a disgusting power, but still. All this mystery, ever so often they say like that he's not human, always got my attention when I was watching classic Naruto a long time ago for the first time or the second time or whatever. And I don't remember if Neji uses Byakugan during the preliminary exams of the Chunin exams, and we saw like the insects inside his body, inside his chakra network. That was really creepy and mysterious, and I always thought the character was very well designed to be that way, a more mysterious character. We barely see his face, he's almost always covered by that really high collar, and he also has those sunglasses which are kind of cool, especially in classic Naruto when they were in goggles. And by the way, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And the most interesting thing about Shino are his fights, for sure. If you haven't watched those fights in a while, please go watch Shino versus Zaku and Shino versus Kankuro again. They are absolutely cool fights with a lot of strategy, and the powers and the dynamic between the powers of Shino and his opponents are very nice and very well done by Kishimoto. Shino is a very good strategist. He is the biggest strategist in classic Naruto after Shikamaru by a long shot. In his fight against Zaku, he actually, plugged the holes in both of his arms, even though he thought one of his arms was broken, and then he revealed it was not. He had a strategy before that when he was planning to attack Zaku from one side with taijutsu and from the other side with his insects, and then plugging his holes was the final nail in the coffin. And in the manga, the arm is actually dissected from the body. It's very brutal. And Shino, seeing the arm getting bisected, he's just standing there, very menacing looking, which is a cool shot. And against Kankuro, that's an amazing fight. It's very strategized as well. Shino uses his insects to eat the chakra that connects Kankuro's puppets with his fingers, eating the line of chakra, and then he uses the female insect with the pheromones to attract the other insects from far away, attacking Kankuro from behind. It's very strategized, and the powers connect with each other in a very interesting way, and Kishimoto did this so well in classic Naruto. And even though Shino didn't appear all that much in classic Naruto, his appearances were always very interesting and left a mark on me. I kind of think that if Shino had gone to the Sasuke retrieval arc, there's a good chance they would have succeeded in retrieving Sasuke, because if you think about it, Shino is actually pretty strong. He has a pretty decent taijutsu because, he's always trying to get himself into the fight as well. He's not just fighting with his insects, but he gets close to the opponent in order to strategize, and he's not afraid to use taijutsu. And his insects are very underestimated by people. Those things are strong. They are a swarm of insects that can eat your chakra very quickly, and it's hard to get rid of them because it's just a lot of them. So even if you use an attack and explode that blob of insects, there are gonna be some insects left, and Shino can keep attacking you with those insects and draining your chakra, which is a really bad thing for you. The characters usually hype up the Aburame clan, and Shino himself is a nice character. I would say he wants to protect the village just like any other good Konoha character. He fights Kankuro almost to the death because he knew Kankuro could not go forward because Sasuke had to deal with Gaara, and he was willing to put his life on the line so that Sasuke would have a shot to face Gaara. When his dad comes by and saves him from the poison, that's a very touching scene as well. And I was excited to see more of Shino, but we do not see more of Shino. He does almost nothing during the entire Shippuden era. I think his design suffered a lot as well. He's not as cool as he used to be. The hood doesn't really work. The new goggles are not very nice. You know, you could argue that many characters had a downgrade in their designs, but Shino was probably the worst of them in Shippuden. And yeah, he does almost nothing the entire show after his fight against Conqueror, which is kind of sad. Of course, I'm not counting filler episodes here because I know he has some weird fillers, but I've never watched them and I don't really intend to. But his appearances in Shippuden are essentially in the Itachi arc, when they're going after Itachi and actually they fight against Toby, and then Shino is there and he uses his insects for a little bit, but obviously they're not effective against Obito because, you know, he can just slip through the insects easily. And then he appears again in the war arc and doesn't do much either. You know, he fights some white Zetsu, if I'm not wrong. And then he fights those smaller clones of the Jubi using, you know, those insects that actually increase in size. Which is an interesting jutsu and would be a nice progression for the character if not done so late. And that's it. These are the two things Shino did in Shippuden. And they were not even one-on-one battles or impactful moments by any stretch of the imagination. They were actually very quick and just glanced over, and Shino was actually diluted with many more characters when he appeared. Also, Shino was kind of transformed into a more jokey character. He was not that mysterious character anymore. That was kind of scary, kind of creepy, but still interesting. He just became like a goofball character that made fun of Kiba half the time he was on screen and was used as a joke himself the other half, which definitely didn't help the character either. So Kishimoto kind of wasted the potential Shino had in Shippuden. You know, I'm not asking Shino to be the main protagonist of an arc or defeat an Akatsuki member, even though Shikamaru did that, but it would have been nice to see a good moment of Shino. This happened to so many characters, you know, Shino, Rock Lee, Neji. Nice characters in classic Naruto, very impactful characters with great moments that were mostly forgotten throughout the entire Shippuden era. So what do you guys think? Do you think Shino was wasted? Do you like him? Because I know some people really don't like him, but I kind of do. And I want to see what you guys think about it. As always, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.